My name is Nicole and I worked with Kiki in about the winter 2020 into spring of 2021. I lived in the home that I was purchasing. It was my mother's home at the time, and when she and I moved into that home together, there was an understanding that at some point I was going to be taking that over. My mom and I just didn't do so well in our own personal relationship, and it was time for me to buy the house. I needed Kiki because I needed somebody that could navigate kind of what my mom wanted as well as what I wanted so that we could come to an agreement at the end and be able to have me buy the house. My mom and I both kind of were searching on our own for a little bit, and we weren't really finding what we were looking for. And so because I'm in the LGBTQ sex positive community and Kiki is too, I was like, well, I'm just gonna call her and ask her if she can help. And I had that conversation with her. She really listened to me. She was open and was knowledgeable about what we would need to do moving forward, and that's all I needed. So I would say in all, we probably were only searching for a couple of weeks before we decided to go with Kiki. I just trusted her. She was easy to work with. She was honest. She told me the truth when it came to, difficult things that came about at the part of the deal. I felt like the person she directed me to for the actual loan agreement was honest with me as well. And I had a pretty tough financial situation at that time, and they were really willing to work with me so that I could be approved for the loan. We decided to go with Kiki because honestly, she said, I can do this for both the buyer and the seller, and I can make this easy on the both of you. And when my mom and I talked about it, we felt like that was the best way to go. Plus, her openness and honesty and sincerity in the way she presents herself really made us feel comfortable that we were making the right decision. Kiki was really good about explaining her process at the beginning and kind of letting me know every step of the way where we were going to be, when something was going to happen, what I can anticipate happening at such and such a date or such and such a meeting or so forth. So I appreciated how communicative she was with me and that she was able to really just kind of hold my hand and walk me through the process. It made me feel heard, especially because it was an emotional situation I was in the first place, having to buy the home from my mom. And she was able to make me feel like I was a person in this process going through something that was important in my life, right? I didn't feel like I was just a number. So at the time when I was ready to buy the house, it was 2021, and I was really involved in the LGBTQ sex positive community. And I had heard from friends within the community, I had seen her own advertisements, and I was like, I want to talk to her because I trust her because she's part of the community. And once I was able to meet with her, and it was like we instantly clicked, and it felt so comfortable moving forward knowing that she understood me on that level. So we then were able to be understood moving through the deal. I would call her and kind of just try and get a better understanding of where we were and what the seller, who was my mom's, was looking for, because I wasn't clear on that. And she was pretty transparent on conversations that she had had and knew where my mom was falling, so that I was prepared for whatever the cost of the house was going to be. And it ended up being a market value cost, but then because of the negotiations that Kiki was able to provide with both parties, I was able to walk into about $65,000 to $70,000 worth of equity. As a member of the sex positive LGBTQ community, I would refer anybody to her because I think being a part of that community, you just feel a kinship with other folks in the community, and it makes you feel comfortable and you could really be yourself. Additionally, because I had a weird situation, she was very knowledgeable and willing to walk me through every step of that process when it wasn't your typical deal that most people see every day.